In prior years, there was no real outside unbiased research. There were significant differences between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Most of the research started with the ideology, and it was really used in part for campaign literature. Jim Guthrie and I founded PACE in 1983. We felt that we could leverage the universities and other researchers and bring that to bear in a nonpartisan way to look at California's education problems and propose solutions. Our motto was we wanted to be the North Star.
There's several remarkable things about PACE. One that people often forget is that it's not a single entity, it's a consortium of universities, of researchers across the state, all working towards a shared goal of improving education for all California kids.
PACE helps identify and prioritize some of the most pressing and challenging issues educational systems in California face. Practitioners see them as an unbiased assessment of what was supposed to happen, why didn't it happen, and what can we do to correct it.
PACE can bring these analyses into the policy environment at the right moments and can do that in a way that brings people together through convenings, briefings that make it possible for people to act on it.
As legislative staff advising members of the Education Committee, we need strong connections to research and practice. PACE is a trusted source of evidence. They do the translation work between research and policy. They're also really responsive to our policy needs, even with our crazy timelines and deadlines.
Joining PACE has enabled me to work with folks who are equity warriors, but who are also scientists. I think the most compelling part of the track record that's been accumulated at PACE is getting down to facts. A comprehensive look at the state of California that highlights the disparities in opportunities and in outcomes for our students.
Getting Down to Facts 2, building on the work that was done in Getting Down to Facts 1, really allowed us to highlight the issues that were ahead of the state so that when we had the political environment that could act, the blueprint was very clear. And the contributions were important around early childhood education. You can see how they are being built on as we go to universal preschool, school finance reform, of course, and also the work around attention to the education workforce and the need to really address and start to solve the perennial shortages of teachers that we've had.
We're at the 10-year anniversary of the Local Control Accountability Plan and Local Control Funding Formula. PACE has been critical in helping shape a lot of the ideas around how we craft this work. They've been instrumental in highlighting when the system is on course and when the system is off course.
During COVID, the value of our relationship with PACE became especially clear. From the early days of the crisis through our discussions about learning recovery, they provided critical support on a moment's notice, from providing research and connection to experts, to testimony at our hearings, to help just thinking through tough decisions.
It's almost a cliche to talk about how divided our lives are politically and civically. One of the difficult challenges in these times is discerning truth. I remember at one of the PACE gatherings a few years ago, there was a lot of discussion, especially by state officials, about how wonderful California's approach is to education issues. And then there was a moment where a series of speakers started talking about the evidence, about the continuing problems in the state, about the kids who are being left behind, about the communities that are not being well served. And in that moment, I saw everyone in the room focus on the fact that yes, we've been trying hard, but we're not moving the needle far enough or fast enough. There's so much more to be done. PACE needs to be there to provide the evidence that will make sense of the hardest problems.